Yeah, buddy! What's up, everybody? It is I, your buddy, and your pal, and your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Thursday night video, right here, on the official Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there, you know where it is by now, down in the description box below, otherwise known as my pants. Down there, trust me. So, subscribe to my channels, all down below in the gobbledygook. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my past videos, now videos, or future videos, Conan. But don't leave stupid comments. Like I said before, you will get sent to the Shadow Realm, placing an Iron Maiden, and Ozzy and Satan will eat your soul, and you'll never be heard from again. So don't do it. Go to your dead channel. Nobody cares about your boring channels or anything else. Nobody cares, because I don't. So do your shit there, and nobody will care. So, because you ain't gonna do it on mine. If you don't like getting blocked, then tough shit. Or just don't talk shit. But some of you people can't close your mouths or your vaginas. But that's another story for another time. But anyway, for all the good people out there that love wrestling and music and anything else, you can leave a comment, but like I said, keep it clean like sanitation. Because if not, you're getting taken out like the trash that you are. And that's it. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, you're pretty much SOL. And you know what that means. Ha! But if you don't, look it up. And for our first-time viewers, if you've never seen my channel before, and you're coming to my channel for the first time, then, well, welcome to the party, pal! And if you're thinking about subscribing, please do. I mean, I'm not begging you to. If you want to subscribe, it's up to you. So, that's that. But if you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button on this channel. Show my other channels your love and support as well. And, that's it. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Straight cherry Coke. We're not gonna get the alcohol for a little while, but you know, maybe after the holidays we'll break out the Jack. Bring out the Jack Daniels, or maybe some Hennessy, maybe some rum, who knows. Depends on how the missus feels. But, it is what it is, and that's pretty much it. So, whatever you're drinking, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, too bad! And that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Thursday night! November the 13th, 2025. You know what that means. Next year is a Friday the 13th. Somebody call Jason Voorhees! So, next year we'll have to pay homage to the great man that he is, Jason Voorhees. So, but that's next year. But hope everybody had a great Thursday. Not too chilly here in the Northeast. Getting warmer. By Saturday we're going to hit a 60. Ooh, 60. I mean, nice and warm, and then down the drain again. But getting some rain this week, on and off, going into next weekend. And I got a big weekend next weekend. It's just insane. Back-to-back concerts. I don't know if my neck and my ears can take it, but I'm a trooper, and I'm gonna do it for you guys. I'm like Darby. I'm like Darby Allin. I'm gonna do it for you guys. Because I love you guys. I got burnt last night for you guys. I got put through a flaming table for you guys. I come from Seattle. I live in a car. Okay. Anyway, we'll talk about him later. But, yeah. I'm gonna sacrifice my body next Saturday night and Sunday night. Ooh, it's going to be insane right before Thanksgiving. And I have to get a shot tomorrow. Ooh. Not, well, Not that type of shot. I already got my flu shot. I have to get my shingle shot. I'm supposed to get it today, but the pharmacist says, come back tomorrow! I'm like, okay. What are you going to do? So tomorrow afternoon, I have to get jabbed in the arm, and then probably feel like shit for about a week. You'll love that, right? Some of you should get jabbed in another place, but that's another story for another time. But, so maybe I shut you up for once, but I digress. But I hope everybody had a great Thursday, getting ready for the weekend. We're just about to hit the midpoint of the month on Saturday. So, 6 weeks from today, the greatest day in the world, and Christmas will commence. And then 7 weeks from today is the New Year, 2026. 49 days away, my friend. Actually, 48 and change days away from 2026. So, it's getting there, about a month and a half, a little over a month and a half away. So, the holiday season's approaching. We got 2 weeks to Thanksgiving. I hope you got your bird. And if not, well, too bad. Good luck getting it. Because, you know, those lines at the supermarket are going to be massive this week and the next couple weeks. Especially at the retail stores, too. I know from experience, they get, you know, around Thanksgiving, it gets a little bit packed. Then it lightens up a little bit. Then by Christmas and New Year's, forget it. So if you work in retail, you're fucked for the next 2 months. Pretty much, next 7 weeks, basically. Not, I didn't say 2 months, but 7 weeks. You're screwed. Good thing I got out of that industry. I don't have to. I'm never going to work in retail ever again. I'm working in music, and I don't have to, you know, deal with that shit. But it's going to be good, you know, going to some concerts before Thanksgiving and maybe around Christmas, too. We'll see what happens with that. But lots of good stuff coming your way if you follow my Metal Guy channel. Good stuff coming your way next weekend. So, stay tuned! And that's that. Anyway, on this Thursday evening, November the 13th, 2025, right here on the Peter Joseph channel. By the way, I'm Peter Joseph, your gracious host. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, music, or whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And if you like it, great, you know, then go watch somebody else. Simple as that, but people have a hard time doing that. They just love watching me just because they got nothing else to do on a Thursday night, or any night, really. They just need to move on with their lives, and they can't. Sad. It's just sad. I got better things to do, like drink my cherry Coke, watch the Jets coming up at 8, got TNA to watch later, and Ring of Honor. I got other things to do. You know, watch a movie with the missus later. So, we have that. And yes, I'm still with her, so, too bad for you. So, we just like to keep our private life private, so, whatever we do in private is private, so. Think we're broken up, we're not, so, go fuck yourself. And that's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, minus all that shit, because I don't care about, don't really care about, but, anyway, on this Thursday night, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your late and out-of-date AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts review. Alright, from last night, November the 12th, 2025, and we are emanating from Greensboro, North Carolina, at the First Horizon Coliseum. Almost sold that place out. I think it was, they had 5,100 seats, I believe. They were supposed to sell 5,100 seats. They almost got 5,000 people there. Good job, Tony Khan. And this show was amazing. How come you cannot do this every fucking week like you did early on, Tony Khan? The first couple years, every fucking week was a banger. Now it's like, well, 1 week good, 1 week bad. 1 week bad, 1 week worse. Then good. It's like, like this. I'm not talking about Collision, I'm talking about Dynamite. Barely getting around 600,000. On a good night, they'll get 600,000. Right now, they're getting barely 400,000 to 500,000 now. Oh, yeah. For a company that used to, in the early days, are getting close to $1 million, over $1 million at certain points. They're beating NXT for like 2 years. I don't know exactly, but they were destroying NXT. And then NXT, got with it, going to Tuesday nights, and, then finally they go to CW11, and that's when the table turned, I believe. So, which now you got NXT pulling around 600,000-700,000. They used to be not even close. I don't think NXT's ever hit $1 million. They came really close though at certain points. Because they had to get like John Cena, they had to get The Undertaker, the GOAT of all goats, and everybody, big stars like Cody and everything. Cody's not a big star, but whatever. But imagine Roman was there. If Roman went to NXT, that would have popped at least $1 million. Or at least close to about $1 million. But who knows if that ever happened? But I think the days of NXT and Dynamite getting close to 800, 900,000 pretty much over, because wrestling has gotten really stale. But we still watch it because we got nothing else to do. We do got other things to do, but we love wrestling and we're never gonna give it up. So it is what is it? SmackDown barely gets over 1 million now. They did 1.1 last week. The week before that, under 1 million. Ouch! And then you look at Collision, just barely 210,000. This week, this past week did 229. The week before that, 213, I think. Ugh! You can blame the World Series for that. You can blame college football for that. You can blame a lot of shit, but Collision's not really a great show anymore, so. And I heard that they filed not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 trademarks for a third show. Oh, we thought Shockwave was going to happen, right? Wrong. They have AEW Fire, AEW Blitz, and I forgot the other 2 names, but is that going to see the light of day? Probably not. But then again, if they do AEW Blitz or AEW Fire, or I don't know what the other 2 names were, but where are we going to put it? That's the one thing. Where are we going to put it? What day? What channel? And what's going to be on it? Or we're just going to put it on YouTube and, get like 50,000 people watching it. Or put it on HBO Max and you barely get anything. Because a lot of people don't have HBO Max. I have it, but I don't really watch AEW on Max. Except for the pay-per-view, but that's it. Why have it? But as the missus and me used to say, better to have it than not need it, than need it and not have it. That is actually a commercial which got ripped off by a fucking life insurance company. Fuckers. That was my idea. Actually, it was our idea. Freaking people ripped me off. Fuck. I've been rolling in more dough than I have right now. But I digress. But Yeah, me and Rosa had so many ideas for commercials, jingles. We're lazy fucks. Okay, it's true. But we are lazy, and we should have pitched that to some companies, and we could have made some good money. But it is what it is. Well, I don't want to get into that anymore. Alright, let's get into Dynamite. Let's get into Blood and Guts. Let's not waste any more time. As always, our commentary team for AEW Dynamite. This week, the man behind the mask, Excalibur, hasn't missed a show. I don't think he's ever missed a show in their 6 years. I could be wrong on that. Anyway, Tony Baloney Schiavone, or for people that love Jericho, Tony Schiavone, and Brian Fagelson, commentatorson, lies to his teetson. Yes! He's there. Alright, like I said, this show was barbaric and epic. Oh, so good. But I said before, we need consistency. If next week's show is not good, and it's the go-home show, and it's 3 hours next week, because we got Dynamite and Collision next week. Because Collision's on Saturday, the pay-per-view's on Saturday, Full Gear, not gonna happen. So, Collision next Wednesday. Then, the following week, it's not on Saturday, it's on Thanksgiving night. You know it's not gonna get any ratings. Barely 150,000 people watch that shit. I'm not watching it at all. I will watch it the next day, but I am not watching it Thanksgiving night, because I'm watching football. And that's all I gotta say about that. Speaking of football, got the Jet game on. Shit, I forgot to put that on. Shows you how much I love the Jets. Hey, they got 2 wins in a row! 2 wins in a row! And they're playing the Patriots in New England, where they never win. The Patriots are just... Who knew the Patriots were 8-1 or 8-2? This is week 11. Yeah, 8-2. Who knew that the Patriots, of all teams, would be at the top of the AFC East by 2 games over... Well, I don't know, but 1 or 2 games over the Bisons, the Buffalo Bisons. Holy shit. And New England is a 12.5-point favorite. So he had to win by 13, so 2 touchdowns. So, I don't think the Jets win this game. I will be shocked, but I don't think they have a prayer to beat this great New England team tonight. But, then again, you never know. And they gotta play the Ravens the week after that. That's the 30th. The end of this month, so... We'll see what the Jets do. They're not making the playoffs. Same thing for the Giants, who got rid of Brian the Boar. They got their offensive coordinator taking over the reins for the rest of the season. Well, another year of no football, no Super Bowl for the Giants and Jets. So another New York team, bye-bye in the playoffs. See what the Knicks can do. They're doing all right this season. I'm not watching it, but I care. But we'll see what the Knicks do as we go through the rest of this year, going into next year. Rangers, they won last night. That was great, 7-2. But they're so up and down. I don't know. I don't know if it's November still. We're like 1 month into the season. We're not even talking about the playoffs yet. But we won't talk about that till like March or early April for the Knicks and the Rangers. And then we'll talk about the Mets coming and the Yankees coming back for spring training in March with the World Baseball Classic that nobody cares about. Because I don't. I'll root for Puerto Rico and maybe the Dominican Republic in that whole shebang, but, why'd you root for the USA? If they win it, great, but, I'm not really watching most of the World Baseball Classic. I care less about it. Doesn't mean shit. That's pretty much it. Alright, back to wrestling we go. And let's start this off. Alright, so we start off Blood and Guts. With the women's Blood and Guts match. And like I said, this was a 2.5-hour show. So you know both Blood and Guts matches were going to go at least an hour. Plus a couple matches in between, like the Hangman, Adam Page, and Will Hobbs. And we had Ricky the Dragon Steamboat on the program. We were supposed to have Ric Flair, but he was there. He was at the arena, but then he had to leave because he got sick or something like that. Yeah. Hopefully, the Nature Boy is feeling better. Great man that he is. Alright, so the women's match and the rules are one entrant from each team starts for 5 minutes. Then the team with the advantage gets a 2-on-1 advantage, and then every few minutes, like 2 minutes or so, I don't know. It's random, I think. But every few minutes, another entrant enters, and then when all 10 people are in the cage, the double ring, match from beyond, as they say in WCW, when all the entrants are in, Blood and Guts begins, and the first pin or submission or surrender wins the match. Oh yeah, so we had Team Chris Cakelander, the AEW Women's Champion, along with her so-called best friend, Willow Nightingale, the resident fun girl. Bam! She's there. Holly! Cameron. Gaffney from Scooby-Doo! Jamie Hayter. My girl, my fourth amazingly hot Asian wife, Mina Shirakawa, and Timeless Joker Tony Storm! Yes, darling bosom! Alright, so they take on Team Monet of the 12-belt whore, Mercedes Monet, Sky Blue, Julia Hart, and Thekla of the Triangle of Madness, the Megasis, Megan Bayne, and Marina Shafir. I have to say, the ladies brought it. They brought the fire, well, not the fire per se, but this was crazy as shit, as the great man, you up there, Jay Briscoe, reach for the sky, boy. As he said, it was crazy as shit. And they went, buck wild on that bitch. What? Buck wild on that bitch. They went crazy. Started with Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale. In the first few minutes of the match, Sky Blue is gushing blood. I mean, gushing. I mean, it felt like she had her period 5 times. It was insane. So anyway, she comes out, Willow came out with a barbed wire kendo stick. No, take that back. Sky Blue came out with a barbed wire kendo stick, and Willow came out with a trash can lid that was pink or something like that. It was crazy. Sky Blue's busted open in the first couple minutes, and then Julia Hart comes in to give give Mercedes team, which had the advantage, a 2-on-1 advantage. And then Holly Cameron comes in, and all of them had white. A few of them had different colors, but you know, most of the team was wearing white because you know all the bloodshed getting on the white turns it red. You know, so it looked weird if it's like a different color. Forget that. Thekla comes in at number 3 for their team. Jamie Hayter came in after that. Thumbtacks were poured out. It was just crazy. Megan Bayne came in at number 4. And then Chris Cakelander comes in to even the odds. Wearing the title, which was... why? But she hits a Vader bomb with the title on her stomach, which was crazy. And then Queen Aminata came out, chased off Penelope Ford, who came out with a broken wing. She has Tommy John surgery. She's out for like 2 years. I don't know why she was even there. Just to come out with Megan Bayne. Okay. So she chases her off, and Queen Aminata has a neck injury. I don't know why you were there either, but okay, we'll go with that. So we get that, and Chris Cakelander and Megan Bayne had a stare down. That was kind of epic. And then, out of nowhere, Harley and Megan... Actually, Harley climbs the structure, and Megan Bayne gives chase, only for Megan to be power bombed down. Ow. And then everybody's down. Mercedes Moné comes out with, like, 5 people, near the cage with all her fake belts. She comes out, gets in the ring, beats up Cakelander for a little bit, and then, dropped her on the AEW title, picks it up, and does the CEO dance. And then, she goes outside to grab the Ring of Honor Women's TV belt to bring it in the ring. She brings almost half her belts in the ring, gives it to everybody. He's like, hey, you got a belt, you got a belt, you got a belt, yay! And then they use them as weapons. And then Mina comes out with a barbed wire baseball bat. She throws it at Megan Bayne, then hits a drop kick. Then she goes after Mercedes Moné, and so Marina Shafir comes out from the bowels of hell. Well, the crowd too. And she comes out, and her and Cakelander have a little stare-off, and then Cakelander goes outside the other side of the cage, so there's 2 doors, one here, one here. And they fight. Marina sends Cakelander into the barricade. Then she pulls off another part of the barricade near the announcer's table. She pulls out a bed of nails. She learns from Mox really quick. If you've seen her defy stuff, it's insane. She has gone from, you don't know me, to, oh, we know you now. Defy Women's Champion, bloodied as fuck. Crazy. And we all know her as Roddy's wife, so. But anyway, she pulls out a bed of nails, starts beating up Cakelander. She kicked her right in the titties, and Cakelander fell right back onto the freaking bed of nails. Ow! That hurt. Then she takes off her shoes and socks. And she had, like, tape on her stinky feet. Before beating up Jamie Hayter. Toni Storm comes out to start Blood and Guts. Toni hits Marina in the face, who, like, puny fucking hits. Toni gets sent into the cage. And then, pretty much almost everybody in the match was busted open. Except for Toni Storm. It was insane. Like, Cakelander busted open, Megan Bayne busted open, Willow busted open. You know, Toni Storm, who had the Joker face paint on, didn't have any freaking blood on her. But, she pulls out a bucket of broken glass. By the way, real glass, Hunter! Real glass, cry me a river. She puts her hand in the freaking bucket and does an Ian Rotten impression with the Taipei deathmatch shit. That, remember that when she had that thing with her and Blake Monroe, or what's her name? Yeah, Maya May. That match was crazy when both women were like Taipei death. I was like, ah! Like, going back to ECW circa 95, 96. Ian and Axel Rotten beating the fuck out of each other in a Taipei death match. So she does that, and a double DDT puts Megan Bayne down. We go to break. Come back, Sky Blue gets powerbombed onto a table which didn't break. I am the table! And then Statlander drops an elbow on her. Table halfway breaks. Where did they get these tables from? Not the Home Depot. Well, maybe the Home Depot or Lowe's. Those tables suck. Or your local bingo hall. Anyway. Harley whips out the Mercedes Moné puppet. Uh-oh. Mercedes like, fuck you, puppet! Reveals the brass knucks. And Harley, boom, knocks Mercedes the fuck out. And then Julia Hart and Dekla get out of the cage through the holes in that structure. I'm like, how the hell did they get through that? They go to the outside. They beat up the referee, Mark Posey, get the key. Because the door was locked. So they open the freaking door. And then Chris Statlander and Mercedes go outside. Then they go up half the structure. And Statlander hits a Samoan drop, almost air raid crash through the table. Ow. And then her team locks the cage door. But they have the key. And a bunch of Chris Statlander's team is outside the cage. Toni Storm pulls out the bucket of glass. And then her and Mina hit a double DDT on Marina Shafir on the glass. Ow! This match is insane. And then Marina Shafir's in the corner. Toni Storm brings out a mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Why it's you, Nature Boy? Not that pissant Jay Lethal. No. Remember that promo? That was funny. Anyway, she takes out the mirror, puts the glass side like down while Marina's like laying down. She puts her like right in her face. She was gonna hit the sexy hip attack, but Marina gets up, throws the mirror right in Toni Storm's face. It exploded. I was like, damn! Oh, violence! Violence! Yes! I love violence. I don't condone it, but I love it. Anyway. And then Kate Landers superplexes Megan Bayne between the two rings. Ow. Mina grabs a figure four with a barbed wire bat, only for Marina Shafir to stomp down on the glass with her foot, then stomp Mina in her titties. Gonna save the titties. Damn, I don't know how she didn't. She smashed her foot down, and then when you hear, my foot! She's hardcore. So she hits Mina, breaks the hold, and then everybody grabs Toni Storm while Marina Shafir locks in Mother's Milk on Mina, and then Megan takes one of the belts, bam, 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 smashes Mina, who's locked in Mother's Milk. She's basically passed out, and Tony's like, don't tap! Don't tap! Don't tap! And then she sees Mina getting the shit beat out of her, almost passing out, like, to her death, and then Tony's like, I quit! So Tony sacrifices Mina for the greater good, and Team Mercedes Moné wins blood and guts. 46 minutes of mayhem. It was great. Top that, WWE. I know that match is going to be insane as a Survivor Series. Because, Io's going to jump from the top of the cage with the trash can lid over her body and doing the moonsault with it. Because every year she does that. So, she's done it for like the past, I think 4 out of the 6 matches. I think this is their 7th match. I could be wrong. 4 out of the 6 matches she's been in War Games. Because, Io is crazy. 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 That's why she's my third wife. She's crazy. She's crazy in bed. Well, so is the missus, but that's a story for another time. Perfect shit. We get that. So, the women came out to start the show and said, okay, men, top that. Match was amazing. 5 out of 5. Clearly 5. mean, if you're Meltzer, 6 stars! Or 7 stars! Whatever. But amazing match. Amazing. I think it's the women's match of the year. I know you would say Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné at all in, but I think that one topped this. Take that back. Women's Blood and Guts topped Mercedes and Toni this year, clearly. But we'll see what happens with that. We move on. There were some injuries in the match. Everybody was okay. I think what did he say? Jamie Hayter chipped some teeth, but she's fine. I think everybody else is fine, but they got some bumps and bruises and stitches and everything. It was insane. I don't know how they do it every year. This was the first one. You know there's gonna be another one next year, most likely. But they beat the shit out of each other. That's that. Alright, we got a recap of the Hangman Adam Page and Powerhouse Will Hobbs, who had one hell of a fight last week. But before we get to that match, we go to the parking lot, the ever-popular parking lot, where there's a big old fight between most of the Don Callis family and Jurassic Express, that's Jungle Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus. They're getting the shit beat out of them by Mark Davis, Lance Archer, Josh Alexander was there, Rocky Romero essay was there. They got everybody in the family that's not in the family or in the family that were there. They beat the crap out of Jurassic Express, and then a door opens near I think a trailer, and then Kada and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, they come out and like, what the fuck's going on? Well, the Young Bucks like, what the fuck? And then Don Callis says, I want an answer if you guys are going to be joining next week. So we sent the message to Jurassic Express. Now we're going to send a message to Kenny by God Omega next week because he returns. So next week we're going to stay up late watching Kenny Omega while we masturbate. So, so Kenny returns next week. So see what happens with that. And Don Callis wants an answer about the Bucks joining the family next week. I hope and pray not. Because they had that $1 million match next week at Full Gear. So we'll see what happens with that as they team with Josh Alexander against Jurassic Express and Kenny. So I don't think the Bucks are going to be joining. If they do, I mean, why? How many more people do you need in the Don Callis family? Next thing you know, the freaking security guards are in the family. Or the guy in the 10th row eating popcorn. Or the concession people. The guy that drives the Uber to the arena for some of the stars. They're going to be in there. I might be in the Don Callis family. I don't know. I'm not, but, I'm just saying, hypothetically. And why would I even join Don? Why would I join the Don Callis family? Why? 69 me Don! No. No. I'm not doing that. I don't swing that way. If I wanted to 69 somebody, it'd be Mina. Every night. Twice on Sunday. We get that. Alright, so we see what the Bucks do next week if they join up with Don and the rest of the family. And that's it. Alright, so I gave that segment 2.5 out of 5 stars. Match number 2, non-title match, Falls Count Anywhere, between the Hangman, Adam Page, the AEW World Champion, about to do some cowboy shit. He takes on 1/3 of the AEW Trios Champions, and that's the big man, Powerhouse, Will Hobbs. Okay, so we saw Adam Page have his ribs taped up after what happened last week. So then Will Hobbs rips off the turnbuckle pad. And Adam Page is like, alright, you want to play that way? You couldn't even take it off like, you fucking wimp. It's like, alright, we're gonna play that game. So both turnbuckle pads on the opposite sides of the corner are exposed. Not that he used it. They beat the fuck out of each other in the rain. They go outside at a scary spot where Hobbs gets the world's strongest slam on the steps. Ow! And then he puts they're on the announce table. I think Will Hobbs wanted to do something with that. Or put Adam Page through the table, and Adam Page backdrop Hobbs off the announcer's table, and he like went boing off the floor. I was like, aye! That was a rough landing, and I think he hurt his tailbone or broke his tailbone, because he came up like, aye, shit. So they go into the crowd, and then they go up the crowd up to like the mezzanine level. And they're fighting and everything. And this freaking old lady, I don't think she was that old. Not like ancient old, but she had to be, I say, around my age, maybe, whose age. They're fighting, and then Hobbs and Page are fighting right on her, like right around her. And then the freaking security guard's like, trying to, protect all the fans and everything. And this fucking woman's like, get him away! Get him away! And they're fighting, and Adam Page goes up like a few more steps, and then the woman's like looking at the security guard, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I felt bad for her. I felt like Rosa one time, at Ring of Honor, when Roddy came into basically almost our laps. I had to protect Rosa because I'm a good guy, you know what I mean? I thought Elgin was going to come into the barricade. And I knew it was coming. I just knew. I sniffed. I was like, I knew it was coming. I know it's coming. Somebody's gonna get thrown into our area. So I was like, you better back up. And we kind of missed it. We botched. So Rodney got hit the barricade. The barricade came back, hit me in the leg, and then I'm like, Rosa's like, ah! Ah! I'm trying to cover her and everything. Thankfully, we didn't get hurt, but I dropped my soda. Fucking Roddy. You owe me a Coke, Roddy! I told him at one show, he's like, oh, sorry. Still never got it. Fuck. Next time I meet you, Roddy, you do owe me a Coke. I'll tell you that. I'll tell him. Like, remember that time at Final Battle 2011 or 12? When you fought Elgin, you were on the outside, you got thrown into basically my section. It's like, I backed up because I had to shield my girlfriend and everything, because I wanted to get hurt. And then I dropped, I had my Coke right over here, and it fell, I blamed Elgin for years. But it was really you that came into my fucking place, I've been saying for years you owe me a Coke, because, you don't have to get me a Coke, I'm just saying. Imagine Roddy gets me a Coke, like, hey, get this guy a Coke! So anyway, I felt bad for that lady, I'm like, hey, sit where you never know where you can sit in a fucking wrestling arena. You might get somebody into your lap. Preferably if you're a guy, you wish the ladies went in your lap, right? Not that I ever had that happen, I wish, but, unless it was Mina, or Asuka, Kairi, Io, any Japanese chick, or any chick, period, but I digress. Anyway, so they're fighting around in the crowd, the poor fucking lady's like, stop. And so Paige goes up a few more steps. He takes off his boot, and he's like ready to hit Hobbs in the head with the freaking boot, knocking him all over the barricade. He runs, boom, knocked Hobbs over the barricade through a table which exploded. Ah! Holy shit! It exploded, and then the lights are like going weird. I was like, holy shit! He like cut the power. But like, when Mankind got hit, got thrown off the stands onto that electrical equipment, which exploded, and then half the lights in the arena went out at Royal Rumble. I forgot what year that was. There was 98? Somewhere around that area. That was crazy. But that's Mick Foley. Remember that, Mick? I thought it was very, what, something wrong with you, Mick? Something wrong? You didn't eat your Doritos today? I didn't want any. They were very tasty, but I don't want any now. You mentioned that match and got me all messed up. Bang on! Okay, Mick, we're sorry. We're sorry. Go have some Doritos. I bought you some. They're very tasty. Oh, thank you. Okay. Have a nice day. Okay. Mikey bought them. Not you, Mike. Not you. Him. The other Mikey. Oh, the lesser, uglier one. Right? Yeah. That Mikey. That Mikey. He's not as awesome as me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. You have a good day, Mike? Yeah, I had a great day. I saw a post. You were talking about Hayabusa in it. Oh yeah, Hayabusa was a great guy. I'm sad, sad that he passed on. Yeah, but don't you hang out with him? I hardly see that guy. I'm usually at the bar with Jerome, and Jerome's like snorting his cocaine, fucking some bitches. I don't know. I have never seen him. Maybe he's hanging out with, not Onito, sorry. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Antonio Inoki. He's hanging out with him, right? Yeah, probably. Yeah, and if you do see him, say hi. Well, okay, I'll try. All right. But you had a great day, right, Mike? I had a great day. Okay. You know, it was 20 years ago when your good buddy Eddie passed away. Eddie, how you doing? Oh, hey, how you doing, Mr. Joseph? I'm doing fine, Eddie. You know, we miss you. 20 years ago, you passed away. What do you mean? I'm still here. Oh, right, I had this halo on my head. It's a pillow. What is this thing? It's a halo. Oh, it means I'm dead, right? Ah, shit. Ah, cabron. Okay. Calm down, Eddie. Anyway, yeah, 20 years ago, today, Eddie Guerrero passed away. So remember Eddie Guerrero, the great man, the greatest luchador ever next to Dom. He's my son. He's better than me. I told him everything he knows. He's the fruit of my loins. Yes, he is. But, you know, Eddie, I got stuff to do. Mike, we'll talk later. Say goodbye to your fans. Bye! Okay, get out of here. Holy shit, the Jets are up 7-0? What? Where'd the Jets come from? Holy crap. 6 minutes left in the first quarter, and they're up 7-0. If somebody woke up the Jets, they're like, okay, we'll go for the first 7 weeks, we're gonna suck. We're gonna get close to winning a game, and then we blow it. Kind of like the Giants, right? But, you know, and now the last 2 weeks, they just came out of nowhere. I don't know how they beat the Bengals on a last minute. They got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion right near the end of the game. They had a great defensive stop, and then last week they beat the Browns. I think they beat they beat the Browns surprisingly, and now they're up 7-0 on the Patriots. It's early, so Patriots are driving right now. They're at the 39-yard line of the Jets. Maybe some points on the board. We'll see. Oh, he go nowhere. Oh, that guy punched him right in the gut. Oh, it was like, boom, get the ball. Boom, punch him right in the gut. The gut. Like, gut check. or gut wrench powerbomb. Alright, so we got that. But anyway, yeah. So Adam Page gets the win after basically throwing Will Hobbs to his death. The table explodes, and then Adam Page had to come down and pin him to secure the win. 14-minute match. Great match. 3.25 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Page is going back to the ring to celebrate, but he runs into Shibata! Kazuchika Shibata comes out, beats him up, and Samoa Joe comes in for a 2-1 beatdown, and then the Blood and Guts cage starts coming down. But then Eddie Kingston and they send for the man! You! Hook! Get in here! Bring your Doritos. Get in here. Hook, ladies and gentlemen. They come out for the save just as the cage was about to fully lower. So they get in the ring, and Samoa Joe and Shibata leave the cage, I should say, in the ring. So then Adam Page's like, give me the mic! Give me the fucking mic! He gets on the mic and says, alright, Joe, if you wanted me in a cage, all you had to do was ask. So what we're gonna do is, at Full Gear, me, you, AEW World Title rematch, this time inside of a steel cage, brother! Alright. Why not? Why not? Let's do it. Like Paul Stanley says, Paul, get in here. Paul Stanley, ladies and gentlemen, from Kiss. Paul, say your line. Well, okay, no, we're not singing. We're gonna sing and dance later. But say your line. Oh, that line. Let's do it. Okay. So we got that. Alright, so Page, Joe, 2, Electric Boogaloo at Full Gear inside of a solid steel cage, brother. And it's gonna be barbaric. And I don't think Joe really wants to fight Adam Page in a cage. That rhymes. Because we've seen what Adam Page can do inside of a steel cage. Swerve, anyone? Whew. That match was crazy. I'm surprised freaking Swerve lived through that match. The beating that he got, and then the freaking hypodermic needle in the mouth. Aye! I feel like I'm watching CCW tapes from like 2005. Crazy as shit. Alright, so we get that. 3.25 out of 5 stars. Then, here's the point where the show went downhill for a little bit. Tony Baloney comes out, brings out the legend Hall of Famer Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for a little appearance. Now, Ric Flair was supposed to be there, like I said, but he got sick and he had to leave. So they had to, like, rewrite that segment or something. Anyway, so he comes out and talks about the history in North Carolina, which is Flair country, and his history with Ric Flair. And then, Schiavone's talking about his match in 1983 with Jay Youngblood. Oh, I remember that match. And then him and Dusty Rhodes make a dream, baby. 1991 Tag Team Champions. I was like, what? I don't remember that. It was like, well, around the time that NWO was turning into WCW. I didn't even know that they were tag team champions. I'm like, wait a minute, when? I had to look back at that. I was like, holy shit. They weren't for long, but anyway. So then he pauses to see a sign in the crowd which had the Mount Rushmore of North Carolina, which had Flair, Steamboat, Sting, and, who was the next one? I think it was Luger, or, I forget the fourth guy, but that was nice. That was a nice sign. Good job, Mark! Fan. Anyway. So, the story gets cut off by FTR, oh, fuck the Revival, Dax the Axe Harwood, and Cash is gonna block Wheeler, and Stokely, the guy, gets no hose Hathaway. And then Steve was like, hey, I know that guy! So Steamboat makes fun of Stokely's height, and Stokely says, "I want my favorite wrestler front row at Full Gear." And then he mentions it like, "Oh, yeah, me and Denzel look alike. We get that." I'm like, "Wait, what? There's no way that you and Denzel look alike. What the fuck are you talking about? At least Denzel gets hoes." Shit. Anyway. So Stokely's like, "Hey, you got Macho Man's phone number?" Shit, I don't even have it. Whatever. Actually, I do have it. One sec. Yeah, I know how to piss. Alright, guys. When something stupid is said in wrestling, we pick up a book, or whatever, or pad, or like a notebook, or a pad, or magazine, and when somebody says something stupid, we do the old Book of Doom. Grab your book right now, or whatever you have, put it up to your head, and do this. 1, 2, 3. Dumbass! Fucking bum! Macho Man's phone number, like Ricky Steamboat had it back in the day. He never had it. Ooh yeah, even in matches with me. Okay, Randy, thank you. What is your phone number? Never mind. Why do you want it? I wanted to talk to Liz. Hi, Liz. Hi, Mr. Joseph. You're looking very nice tonight. Thank you. You look great too. Oh, thank you. Stop looking at her, damn it. Yeah. Did. I'll slap into you like a Slim Jim. Okay, Randy, shut up. I'm sorry. Anyway, then FTR brags about making Steamboat look good in his retirement match. And Dax brings up being Steamboat's student because Steamboat trained him. But the thing is, and he's like, through all the years of you training me, you never taught me anything. And then Ricky says, I didn't teach you to have this crappy bullshit attitude. But then Dax says, well, you taught me how to save my money by switching to Geico. No. Anyway. And then Ricky says, if me and Flair followed that advice, we wouldn't have to be here right now. So they tease a brawl, and then FTR tells Steamboat to get the hell out of the ring. And Steamboat's like, if this was like 10, 15 years ago, I would stay in the ring and kick your ass. But I'm an old fart, so I'm going to get out of here and play it smart. So then he leaves, and FTR jumps him. They're about to hit the spike pile driver, but then Brodito will come out, Bandito, and Brody King to make the save. Steamboat gets in a few few chops to send the villains running, and it was way too long, boring. What is this shit? It went on too long, it was dumb, it was pointless. Just to further the FTR Brodito storyline. Why? And now Steamboat's gonna be at ringside for the match. Who cares? I mean, no offense to Ricky, but you should have not been there. If Flair was gonna be in the segment, they could have just scrapped the segment. Done something else without Ricky. They could have just had Tony Schiavone interview Brodito. But they had to bring Ricky out because of the North Carolina collection with Flair. They were advertised, so they didn't want to look stupid. But the segment sucked. Brought down the show a little, almost a lot. If it wasn't for the men's Blood and Guts match, I think the show would have got a really lower rating than I gave it. But stupid fucking shit. I'm watching, I'm like, What is this? Excuse me, Tony Khan, is this basic? And Tony Khan's like, why would we use something so primitive as that? Please watch my show, Collision, on Saturday nights on TNT. We're going live at 8 p.m. Please watch. I will never blink. I'm going to snort my cocaine now. Thank you. Guy never blinks. He's just like a zombie with like... Stupid fucking segment. Stupid. I gave that segment zero. Zilch, zero, middle, bleh. Garbage. You should have never had it. Because afterwards, we get to the men's blood and guts match. Team Death Riders, that's Jon Moxley, William Yuta, the guy that fears cages and fears himself, Danny Garcia, the dancing fool, the Swiss, Claudio Castagnoli, and the bastard Pac take on Team Mark Briscoe, the funky chicken himself. Darby, hi guys, it's me, Darby. Freshly squeezed orange juice. Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roddy! Well, we'll get to Roddy in a minute. So it starts on, this was another bloody as fuck match. Not as great as the women's match, but still, they did their shit. Starts out with Darby, and William Yuta. I'm like, oh, jeez. So Darby has a quick coughing drop from the cage. On the, like the halfway up the cage. I'm like, jeez, this is gonna be exciting. Then he finally get in the cage. Darby grabs his skateboard. And then he just starts whipping the shit out of William Yuta. He's already busted wide open. And then Orange Cassidy comes in because Darby's team got the advantage on Collision. He comes in, breaks his own sunglasses. Something you don't see. Uses the pieces of the broken sunglasses to start jabbing William Yuta to make him bleed even more. Yikes. And then we got a jumping skateboard shot to the back with the tacks in it. Then Danny Garcia comes in to even the odds. Mark Briscoe was supposed to come out as number 3, but he got attacked in the locker room by Kyle Fletcher, most likely. And he was holding his ribs. Roddy and Kyle O'Reilly are there. Like, what we gonna do? So Roddy goes out because he's supposedly part of the conglomeration. So he comes out to take Mark's place in the match. And then Claudio comes out to even the odds. And then Roddy's head gets rubbed into the cage. And then one tiger uppercut drops Darby. Kyle O'Reilly comes in. As the next to last member of the team. But, they beat the fuck out of him. Chair shots. William Yuta grabs Darby, a power drive on the chair. We go to break, come back. Moxley's in, stabs Kyle in the head with a fork. I thought he got him in the neck because his neck was bleeding like all over the place. Then his head was busted wide open. I'm like, damn. And then he goes after Darby with the fork. It's like, yeesh, yeesh. Like raking him like he's like a potato peeler, like, you know, when you're making French fries or something like that. Zing, 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 zing. It's like, shit. Roddy gets stabbed in the head. He starts bleeding. And then finally, Mark Briscoe, actually Mark is not there yet. And then Mox grabs a piece of the broken mirror from the women's match and starts, like, shit. These matches were not for the weak of heart. Well, if you had a queasy stomach, you were like, the mushroom barley soup is coming out at this point. And then we find out that the Don Callis family attacked Mark, well, obviously. Darby is gets a pile driver on broken glass. Real glass. Cry me a river. And then we go to the another break. We come back. Pac comes out to finalize the team for Team Death Riders. So it's basically a 5-on-4 match because we hear from Renee Paquette that Mark can't do the match. So we're going to do a 5-on-4. But eventually, Mark comes out basically on one leg, gets some bolt cutters, and tries to break the lock, and then the door actually opened. What the hell? Okay. So he brings in a toolbox, and we get some trusty tools. I think Orange Cassidy hit Mox with a wrench. A wrench? Of course. And then Mark sets up a table on the floor. Danny Garcia gets put on the table. Mark starts climbing the cage. But he's crazy. Garcia moves before Mark can jump off the cage. And then William Yuta joins Mark on top of the cage. Oh, here we go. I don't know how William Yuta even got up the cage. I'm like, how did he get up there? So then they fight on top of the cage. Mark takes out a pulley, like some like rope with a pulley on it, and then has I think it was Roddy and Kyle put the chairs around this pulley thing, and Mark's like, come on up. Like 4 chairs. So then him and William Yuta have like a chair duel, which Mark won. Mark eventually hits the J-Driller on the chair on top of the cage. I thought the cage was gonna break. Like both of them were gonna go through the top of the cage. That would have been epic. But anyway. And Darby chokes Mox with a hammer! And then Gabe Kidd comes out. I'm like, oh, I forgot about him. He was never in the official match, but he comes out, drags Darby up the aisle with Pac, and then Orange Cassidy puts his hands down his pants, and I bet he felt nuts. Yes, I'm Siskel. Yes, I'm Ebert. Yes, and you're getting 2 thumbs up. And then Mox grabs a staple gun and staples fucking Orange Cassidy's hands in his pants. Ow! Yikes! And then we see Darby getting choked out on the stage by Gabriel Kidd. And then Pac goes up the top of one of the entrance ramps, brings Darby with him, and there's 2 tables around that area. Gabe Kidd takes out some lighter fluid. Well, 2 things of lighter fluid. Shh. You know what's coming, a flaming table. So he takes out a Zippo, lights the table on fire at Pac, who had picking Darby up in a military press position, throws Darby off the top of the stage to a flaming table. Darby is lit on fire. That was crazy. And then Gabe Kidd's taken away by security. Where were the unit before this happened? But who cares? Darby's on fire. But I did it for you guys, because I'm a crazy fuck. Anyway. While in the cage, Mox chokes Kyle with a chain, and then, it looked like Kyle was about to tap out, but he's like, fuck you, Mox! Then Claudio grabs a chair around Kyle's neck. They were about to break his neck, but then Orange Cassidy is like, ah! Rips the staples out of his pockets, ow. And then Roddy gets up with some running knees. Orange punch to Mox, and then Danny Garcia gets sent into a table in the corner, which didn't break. Where are these tables coming from? And then William Yuta gets sent into the table, which did not break. And then eventually, Orange Cassidy counters Swiss Death into the Orange Punch. Roddy still can't try to put Claudio through the table with a spear. That didn't work. And then I think Roddy came charging in. It broke a little bit. Japanese tables. Anyway, where am I? Another orange punch by OC knocks Moxley into the ankle lock in the first ring. And then that gets reversed into the Bulldog choke, which then gets reversed back into the ankle lock with a grapevine. And Moxley's like right around the freaking glass and everything in the first ring. And he's like, ah! And he taps out. In 54 minutes. So this match went like 6 minutes more than the women's match. And the show ended like around 10:35, 10:40. So they went an extra 5 minutes than they got the 2.5 hours. So they got a little bit of an overrun. But still, match didn't deliver as the women's match did. So I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. But it was chaotic. It was bloody. It was crazy as shit. But Darby's team wins. Now, a lot of people are saying that Mox is going to get kicked out of the Death Riders because this is the 2 out of the last 3 Blood and Guts matches Mox has tapped. So, we'll see what happens on Collision this Saturday because it is live. So, we'll see what happens with that or on Dynamite from Boston on Wednesday night as we go to Full Gear. And we'll see what happens with everybody in this match. I think everybody's going to be taken off because I don't know if they've... I don't think Darby's in a match. Moxley's in a match. I don't think anybody that was involved in a cage match is well, actually, besides Mark Briscoe is fighting Kyle Fletcher, so I don't know. I don't think he took that much damage, even though he was a little bit busted open, but still. I think he's gonna be okay to fight Kyle in that match for the TNT title, where he's probably gonna win in match number 6 in that series. But match number 7 will probably be at World's End. I don't know, but I don't think and besides Mark Briscoe, I don't think anybody else in the match has a match at Full Gear. So I think everybody might be taking pretty much 2 weeks off. I don't know, but knowing Tony Khan's like, oh, we gotta do this and this and this. Because not that many matches for Full Gear as it is. We got the cage match for the world title. We got Mercedes versus Kate Lander. That's 2. The tag team titles are on the line. That's 3. What did I say? World title, women's title, tag titles. The TNT title, that's 4. The Jurassic Express and the Bucks and Kenny, that match, that's 5. Am I missing anything? Yeah, the Casino Battle Royale for the national title, that's 6. Okada and the Catch, that's 7. I think they need one more match. But knowing Tony Khan, 50 matches, so. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that. And that's it. Alright, so Blood and Guts, amazing show. 8.25 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of Blood and Guts in a comment down below. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's it. Alright guys, I am out of here. I'm going to go have my din-din. And then I'll be back a little bit later tonight with your NXT review. We'll talk about TNA Ring of Honor tomorrow, leading up to SmackDown. And that's pretty much it. And that's it. Alright, I'm going to have my din-din, watch the rest of this Jet game, and then maybe a late night movie with the missus, and a late night session, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Anyway, Patriots tied the game up. They're about to score again, because they're at the 7-yard line. And they just took the lead. Shit. Alright, 14-7 Patriots with under 8 minutes to play in the half. See if the Jets can come back, maybe tie it up before the half. And we'll see what happens with that. Alright, I'm about to lose my voice. So I'm going to go have my din-din, rest my voice a little bit, and I'll be back later with your NXT review. But right now, thanks for watching. Once again, 8.25 out of 10 stars for Blood and Guts. It was great. I don't know what the ratings are going to be, but I think they're going to go a little bit up. this week. And then probably back down next week because I'm in Boston for 3 hours. So we get that. We got SmackDown tomorrow from somewhere in New York. I don't know where. Monday we got Raw at MSG. John Cena's final MSG show. Roman and Brock might be there to kind of not finalize the War Games teams, but we'll see. AJ Lee is rumored to be there as well, to kind of with the women's team. And a whole lot more this Monday night on Raw from MSG. NXT's got Gold Rush night one. They will be taping night 2 on Tuesday. So that's from the theater, the lovely theater at MSG. And then Wednesday night, we're in Boston for Dynamite and Collision. Thursday, we've got TNA Ring of Honor. Next Friday, SmackDown. And next Saturday, we're at Full Gear. And that's it. So, a lot of things happening over the next couple weeks as we round out the end of November with Survivor Series next 2 weeks from Saturday. And then we begin the greatest month in the world with the greatest people that celebrate birthdays. And then we done for the year in 48 days, 2 hours and 58.5 minutes. So that's that. So 48 more days until the end of the year, ladies and gentlemen. So get ready, get in gear, not full gear, but get in gear. The end of the year is fast approaching. The holiday season is fast approaching. So start getting ready for get your Christmas shopping started or about to start. But yeah, Santa Claus is going to be, making an appearance 2 weeks from today at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Hopefully it won't be cold. It probably will be cold. Hopefully it won't rain like last year, but hopefully no snow or anything like that. They did say that December is going to be really snowy here in my neck of the woods. Not great. They're saying 20 fucking inches. Yikes! 5 years in a row, we haven't had much snow here in the Northeast, which is great. But now, Mother Nature's like, alright, Northeast, I'm tired of giving you warm weather. I'm gonna fuck around with you this year, and you're gonna get, the worst December snowfall ever. I'm like, shit. My back can't take anymore. I mean, I gotta deal with the snow, I gotta deal with, it's insane. But, but pretty soon, I said this for years, but soon I will be on a beach somewhere, just chilling, enjoying my retirement. I don't have to worry about fucking snow ever. The only thing I probably have to worry about is earthquakes, rain, and maybe hurricanes. And that's pretty much it. So, but that's gonna happen pretty soon. But right now, just chilling in New York, just, getting my things together for my eventual move out of here. I just don't know when, but soon. Might not happen, in the next 2-3 years, but I say 5 years tops. I would most definitely probably be out of here. So, we'll see. It's a work in progress, so. But we'll see. We'll see. Me and the missus are working on things and getting everything in storage and everything. We're still doing it. So, we're just taking some time off now because we're getting ready for the holidays. So, after the new year, we're going to put more of our stuff in storage. And then eventually, maybe by the end of next year, probably half of the stuff that's in here will be gone. Maybe. We'll see. But that's that. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. Thanks for watching, because Rose is about to make dinner, so. Anyway, so I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, if you're not down with that, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man. That's it. See you guys next time. But until then, peace.